Saigo Sawagwego. My name is Karyn Murray. This is Gardens of Hope. So you're sitting at Gardens of Hope Kanehsatake, a garden that was founded in 2020 amidst the pandemic under economic development of Kanehsatake for the band office. So we're standing on a land that has 8 generations of Murrays. Most of them were farmers up to my grandfather. My grandfather was a carpenter. He didn't have any use for the land, so it just kind of stayed as was. And when he passed away 45 years ago, my grandmother sold all the topsoil 40 years ago to be able to sustain herself. After he passed away, my family was in disarray and they put all their love on me, this tiny little bundle baby. But, you know, there's a lot of addictions in my family and they're great people. They know how to have a good time. And then it gets like later on in the evening and then feelings are shared under consumption and it created a lot of lacks and a lot of pain in my life personally. But I learned to have a good time too, right? Follow suit. And so my mom was working in bars, so I was alone a lot. I had some of my friends come and being a barmaid there was a lot of alcohol in the house, right? So, and then one day she stopped working in bars and she got a 9 to 5. And I was 14 years old and I was so angry because here's my lifestyle and now there's this person telling me to broom at decent hours. And I didn't like it. And then they sent me to a private school because they just didn't know what to do. They said it was going to help me. And actually it did because most of my structure that I got in life was from Collège Bourget in Rigaud. And then when I came back from there, I was just so angry. I was angry at my family. I was angry for all the racism that I went through. This was 1994 when they sent me in that school. So 4 years after the Oka crisis. And people hated on Mohawks. And I had the attitude to go with it, you know. I was rough, I was tough, and I showed that. I didn't show any weakness whatsoever. So fast forward to the year after that, I decided I'm gonna have a baby. I'm gonna find some dude. I'm gonna have a baby, and I'm gonna show my family what it's like to have a healthy family. I did. I fell in a relationship. I fell pregnant, um, and I had my son. I was 16, 1 month, and 10 days old, and my mom helped me. It didn't work out as I thought it would. So from the age of 15 to 28, I was with this one man. I married him. I had 5 kids with him. And every single day I went through abuse. Uh, Physical, yeah, a lot of physical abuse. I thought I was nothing. I thought I meant nothing. I thought there was nothing of me. So I just did. And I love my kids and I love my kids and I put everything in them, you know. Gandhi once said, be the change you want to be in the world. And that is the motto that I inculcated in my kids since a young age, you know. Whatever you see that you don't feel is right, go be it and change it by your presence. And so at the age of 28 years old, my grandmother passed away. The violence was getting worse. My husband was then using crack. So he would go missing for several days. He'd come back very angry, missing items in the house, and the abuse was worse. And so after my grandmother passed away, I was like, this, now it's time to go. So I moved into her house January 9th, 2009. And I sat alone at night while my kids slept in safety, and it was scary. It's very scary. And then I started going down the road of drugs more than ever before. And I just lost myself that year. As I thought I was finding myself, I lost myself. I left him. I madly fell in love with a man much younger than me. Well, he was 6 years younger than me, but when you're 29, 23 is young, right? And so it was a crazy romance. It was still fueled with drugs, but then I got pregnant, so that stopped for me. And then in 2010, I had a little girl. 2011, I had twin girls. And then 2012, he was taken from us. December 1st, 2012, at 4 in the morning, the police came waking me up to tell me that I needed to come and identify the love of my life. Something broke that morning. And then I delved into horrible relationships and a lot of drugs for several years following that. Still raising my kids by myself and not even realizing I had a problem. I just didn't want to feel the pain, you know? I just wanted to numb it out, get through the day for those babies. And then I lost all control, and TV, internet, cut that out of my house. It's July. My kids are blankets up to here, iPods in their hands back then, right? And I said, okay, look, when I was a kid, I used to roam this land by myself all the time. So I gave them walkie-talkies. But then they went out there and they started seeing life, and they started bringing life back, you know, bringing back a crawfish that I didn't know we had in the pond here, bringing back tons of rocks that we're just hammering down to try to find a geode, which we have not found yet. Some of my kids will say they did, but verify the source. And so, like, as we're doing this, I'm like marveling at nature a little bit. And then I said, well, you know what? I got to keep them busy. So we're going to do a garden on the side of the house, and got the kids involved, a few pallets, some geotextile, put the stuff down. And then I grew my first cucumber. And I don't know about you, but like growing that first vegetable, taking a bite out of it, there's no comparison to that ever. The pride that you taste is amazing. And I fell in love with that. So all winter I'm thinking, okay, all right, we're gonna do a bigger garden. So we did a 40 by 40 in the back of the house. And at that point I'm still using every day. So what I was using it 24 hours a day, but I learned how to eat and sleep on it. So I make this garden, this huge garden, and I am in every millimeter of this garden. 5 in the morning till 9:30 at night, I'm in there. I think if I could have had a spotlight in there, I would have worked at night too. It was a beautiful garden. There was not one weed in there. I was like, well, this is fun. There's a glimmer of hope. Hope. A new word. Hope. Not hope to make it tomorrow. Not hope that my family will be okay. No, hope that there's something else, something bigger. So I decided I'm going to go to school for this. I'm Native. At that point, I was 38 years old. I can do stuff. So I went to school. I signed up, and August 8, 2009 was the first day of school. Now, mind you, I'm still using every day, losing more and more of my functions. Being in a large group was not it. So I showed up that morning. It's about 40 other people. Most of them are much younger than me. There's a couple older. They all want to change horticulture. Oh, back to the bat cave. Like, this is not going to be it for us. So I went home. I drove home. It wasn't even lunchtime. I was like, can't do this. This is too much for me. So I was a little disappointed, but I'm like, I'm resourceful, so I'll find something else. The teacher calls me that night and she's like, hi, we noticed you weren't there in the afternoon. Hope you can make it tomorrow. Okay. Well, this is my dream, right? So I'm like, I can give it a second shot. Hope. August 9, 2018, I go to school that morning. I'm still high as a kite. And then we're sitting in class waiting for the teachers to come in. And here comes this ex-cop. And he's coming to talk to us, mostly to the younger kids, I'm thinking. He's coming to talk about speed, how it's made, what it's made with, where it's made. I'm not even feeding my kids Fruit Loops because of the different dyes. And here I'm putting this in my body. That was an act of God, that man showed up and talked about exactly what I was doing, what it was doing to me. So August 9, 2018, which is tomorrow, 7 years. That's tomorrow. That's crazy. Sorry. Yeah. And then from there on, I just worked hard every day. And those teachers, although they had no clue at that point what was going on with me, they helped me a lot to like get myself back to me. Within a few months of not using, my heart started like really wanting me to go back to church, like get myself right back. Like, cause all the years that I was gone, like I didn't see anything in front of me. Actually, if I seen anybody from church, I kind of went the other way to just kind of like, but that pounding desire was just there. So I went, I got my life right. Within a few weeks, I got a job, beginning of December, I got a job as an eco-agriculture officer for Kanehsatake's band council. So that winter, we're working on making this marketable garden, and we're gonna put some kind of product that's gonna put Kanehsatake as something else than trials and pain and drugs and cigarettes. And March 13th, we all get sent home. Everybody's being told it's pandemic. We don't know when we're gonna come back. We don't know what's going on. I'm sitting at home and I'm looking at this garden, and then my boss calls me, and then we just said it at the same time. We're still growing a garden, but we're going to give it. So the mandate of the garden for 2020 became, instead of being a profitable niche, it became feeding people. So on this land right here, with a group of 7 youth from the community, and older people too there, but mostly youth, we worked here. This was an old cornfield. We came here, there was like $5,000 a budget. That's all there was. Rakes, little hand shovels, seeds, water pail to get to the little pond, and we started from there. That summer, we fed at the high peak of harvest because we didn't have fridges, we didn't have places to be putting our stuff. It's a pandemic, so nobody's selling us anything that's going to show up tomorrow or next week even. So as we're harvesting, we're distributing twice a week. And yeah, we fed 100 households twice a week at peak harvest that year. That ignited something different in my heart. So 2021 came along. We're still in the pandemic. We're still doing the same thing. We're doing a little market, low cost, no cost, you know, just to help out people at this point. And then 2022 comes around. My contract's coming to an end. So as one door closes, another one open. I start working at the Healing Lodge at the treatment center, because part of my sobriety, I've made sure to always go to places like NA and really take part of these different conversations. And one of the counselors was like, "Do you ever think of working here?" And I was like, "Well, it never occurred to me. I never thought of that." Okay. And so for 2 years, I worked there. So when the garden ended, it was fall time. It was winter time because I always close at the end of November. And then just kind of like, okay, we'll wait and see what happens. So I'm working over there, and I'm like, okay, I still want to do this. People are still like talking Gardens of Hope, and I don't want it to die. So 2023, I'm like, I'm going to do a pilot year before I go any further and register myself or anything. So I did 2023 like that. And I don't have employees, I don't have money. But groups started coming, different religious groups who want to do reconciliation, who want to have ties with our community, rebuild some of the stuff that they didn't break, which is really, really kind, and it humbles, I find. And other groups, so the groups that I was talking about, some teenagers, some people that are volunteering, I have just a whole ensemble of people. Some of them I can't talk about. It's private groups. But they all come, and by them coming to work here, spending time at different tasks, we're able to produce and we're able to harvest and we're able to give back. So once I saw in 2023 that that worked, 2024, it was obvious to me that I needed to get an NEQ. I needed to become a nonprofit so I can start getting some funds, because I'm doing this pro bono right now, like, but only by the grace of God. And He has not failed me. He has not failed me. My rent is paid. We have food at the house. The kids are clothed. He takes care of me. But here it's just been a humble work of my sweat and my love, right? And so seeing that the format was working and people were interested and everything that was happening here. So see, I'm telling you logistics. But meanwhile, people got saved in there. People were able to have conversations in there, let go of things in there, recreate a peace for themselves in there, find hope. Some of the groups also that come are people in recovery or people that are using. One of the groups that comes, that people come here, they're using. I don't know if they're using while they're not using while they're here. I don't know if they're under the influence while they're here. But it doesn't matter, because the garden will welcome them as such. This is the beauty about this garden. It gives back so much more than just food. Now we're gonna have a greenhouse. We have a tree farm back there. And although all these great things have happened, I still have an ultimate goal. You wanna know it? When I found my recovery and I started going to those NA meetings and I saw how much power you can give back to another human in the same situation as you, or that you've been in, or something you recognize, it ignites something that no textbook can do. So what I want to do is, with having been this abandoned child and raised in all this toxicity and going through my teenage and 20s, abused every way, shape, or form, to losing a big part of my heart when my boyfriend passed away, to having to rise, all of that. There's a richness in all of that I've been through. And I want to be able to give it back. So what I want to do is I want to be able to go and speak to Native women across Canada. And I want to tell them that they can do it too. And this is going to give me that opportunity. One person at a time. Everyone that comes here, they hear some form of my recovery story and how it was getting my hands in the dirt here that did it. And I just simply offer them the opportunity to have the same thing. It won't be for everybody, but it's always going to leave a mark in someone's life. And I'm done, because I'm going to cry again. You're crying too. You made it, you silly. I didn't know if you were going to make it. Sorry. Sego Sewa Guego, during the season of creation, I invite you to come to Gardens of Hope and see what this is all about for us here in Kanehsatake.